So yes, I'll be introducing here Team Mooncake, as we will call them. During the course of Code Plus, the students were trying to solve the problem around the course permission number granting system. And kind of a twofold problem. One, from the faculty side, there was a lack of tooling for a lot of faculty members to kind of organize their thoughts around the course permission number granting system. But also they kind of saw this as a way to maybe start promoting kind of like a standardization, right? In a sense, a way of doing business. But also from the student side to kind of lift up some of the mystery as far as what's going on in granting course permission numbers. So the app today aims to kind of solve those issues, but I will let the students explain that in far greater detail.
I'll start screen sharing now.
Okay, so hello and welcome to our presentation. We're the course permission numbers team. So just as a brief overview, our team has been working on a way to streamline the permission number granting process. So what that means is we want to make it easier for faculty to organize their rosters and assign permission numbers, and also to make the request process more straightforward for students. So to do this, we're building a Ruby on Rails web application. During this presentation, if you happen to have any questions, please hold them till the end and we'll be happy to answer them then. And before we get into our progress, I'd like to introduce our team.
Hi everyone, my name is Sammy. I am a rising sophomore planning to major in ECE and CS.
Hi, I'm Vaishri. I'm also a rising sophomore planning to major in CS.
Hi, I'm Mariam. I'm a rising sophomore and I plan to major in physics and computer science.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm a rising junior, majoring in computer science and minoring in economics.
And this is Zayu. He's going to major in mathematics and computer science.
And finally, I'm Sunny. I'm a rising sophomore majoring in civil and environmental engineering. So just to provide some basic background on the process, some Duke courses require special permissions from faculty or staff before enrollment in the form of a number code called a permission number. So the way the current process works for students to obtain a number is something of a free-for-all. I would talk about the current process, but there really is no standard. Each faculty member, staff, and department does things differently. Generally, a request begins with a student directly emailing the professor of that class to ask for a number, but what proceeds from there is often messy and overcomplicated for both the student and the instructor. So Vaishri will go over some of these complications and explain the problem we hope to solve.
So in order to get a better insight on what exactly the problems that the students and faculty were facing, we sent out a survey to both populations. We found from our survey results that the average satisfaction with the current system on both sides was 5 out of 10. From the students we surveyed, we saw that there were 4 main problems. There's a lack of transparency in the entire process because there's not one standard way to obtain a permission number, and each department does everything differently. So the students have a hard time obtaining the information on how to contact the person they're supposed to. Communication becomes a real issue when the student tries to email the faculty member, but then they don't get a response back in time. Timeliness is also another major issue as registration approaches and the students don't know whether or not they're going to get the permission number on time, and they have to look for backup courses. And the problems are not just limited to the student side. On the faculty perspective, the faculty deal with many different platforms in order to decide who to give the permission number to. The process usually starts when they receive an email from multiple students asking for a permission number. After sorting through all the emails, the faculty sometimes sent out a Qualtrics form or some other type of form in order to get a better insight into who the student is and why they want to take this course. And after receiving the results from the surveys, they analyze those results using Qualtrics or Excel or some other platform. Then after analyzing those results and deciding who to give the permission number to, they go to DukeHub to generate the permission number and then manually keep track of who the permission number has been assigned to using either DukeHub, Excel, even pencil and paper sometime. Then they go to their emails and email back the student with the permission number. And even after all this, they don't know whether the student is going to use the permission number come registration day because there's no way of exactly knowing. But Now, Elizabeth will show our proposed solution.
Through our interviews with stakeholders and faculty members, we were able to better understand how the current process works and how we can improve it. We hope that our web application will provide faculty and students a central platform with all the tools needed to filter requests and assign permission numbers. Students can now go directly to our site, fill out a request form, and receive a permission number. And faculty members can upload permission numbers downloaded from DukeHub onto our website, and everything else will be done through our site, which Sammy will go into detail in the next slide.
So there are multiple key features that we wanted to incorporate in our application. And before I get started with that, on the left side is our logo for our application. It's named Mooncake, and one of our members, Sunny, drew that. I just thought it'd be cool to share that. But besides that, there are 3 key main features that we wanted to incorporate in our application. The first of which is the ability for faculty and instructors to create custom forms for their courses. So when they create a course on our application that students request permission numbers from, they have the ability to ask these students custom questions, maybe like, why do they want to take this course, or what experience do you have in this subject? So, and we also give faculty and instructors the ability to create different types of questions, such as essay, multiple choice with checkboxes, single choice, short answer. So we're really giving faculty and instructors the ability to choose students that they want to take their course in the manner that they want to, giving them a permission number. And the second key feature that we incorporated in our application is the ability to filter requests. So once a faculty member or an instructor creates a course on our application and receives requests from students for a permission number, they have the ability to sort students by graduation year, major, background, their response to custom questions. So it really gives them the ability, maybe if they want to have primarily upperclassmen in their course, for example, they have the ability to filter requests and accept students with that classification. And the last, but probably most important key feature we have in our application is the ability to automatically assign permission numbers. So before using our application, faculty members had to manually assign permission numbers to students. And sometimes that was kind of burdensome because they had to use Excel and other platforms. But with our application, all they have to do is just download an Excel file from DukeHub and upload it to our application, and our system takes care of it and assigns them in an automated way. So faculty members and instructors don't have to worry about that process at all. And by using our application, it completely removes the need for separate Excel files to manage permission numbers, Qualtrics forms, as everything is on one platform. Next, Miriam will guide us through a demo video of our application.
So here we have a pre-recorded video that I'll play.
Our application starts like many Duke web apps, using an OAuth login like Sakai and DukeHub. Miriam, our professor, will start us off on the faculty landing page.
So this is the faculty landing page, and currently, as you can see, there are no courses for this term. So let's go ahead and create a course. We can say it's going to be 2020 fall, a ComSci course, ComSci 250, and the capacity can be 200. We can have the option for prerequisites, so CS 99 and CS 101. This is optional, but it can help you later on. And then here we can upload our permission numbers. As we mentioned before, this is a key feature. All you have to do is go to DukeHub and generate an Excel file and upload it here. This can be an XLSX or an XLS file. And we can also choose for this course to be cross-listed. Let's say it can be cross-listed with one other course, and that can be ECE 250. And each cross-listed course has a different permission number file. Let's say we have one other section, so 02, and the capacity for this section can be 100 instead of 200. Each section also has different cross-listed permission number files. So now that we have all our information here and our files uploaded, let's go ahead and create a course. So once I create the course, I come on this form page for the course, which has default questions already there, as well as a question on prerequisites, which depends on the prerequisites we put on. So we can also add some questions, for example, a long answer question, which can be, why are you interested? And then we also have an option for multiple choice questions, either with a multiple answer or a single answer. So let's create a multiple answer one, which interests. Now that we have this, if we're happy with this, we can save this as a template too. So let's call it CS250 of fall 2020. And what this does is we can load templates. So next term, for example, I can just load these questions as a template. So if I do CS, it just loads all these questions. So now once I, as a faculty, am happy with all these questions, I can go ahead and publish the form. And I can press OK. And now the course is created, which has 0 permission numbers granted, 0 requests, and all the prerequisites there, as well as the other section, second section.
Now, over on the student side, our student Elizabeth will show you how she applies for a course.
So now this is the student side, and I have no active permission number requests right now. Once I click this button, it brings me to this page so I can find which course I want. I'm going to do 2020 fall. And for the department, although these are cross-listed courses, because I want a permission number in the comp sci department, I'll choose comp sci. And 50 and the first section. Once I click request, it'll bring me to this form page that Miriam has generated. So it autofills my basic information, and now I can fill out the rest. Why are you interested? And once I click submit, it brings me back to the home page, and this is my request. This button means it's under review. I can view all my answers, and I can also withdraw the request if I don't need it anymore.
A few days later, once the course we made has had time to populate with student requests, Miriam will bring you back to our faculty homepage.
Now on the faculty homepage, you can see that our course has had many requests. We have 6 requests, and currently there are 0 permission numbers granted. So let's go ahead and view the requests. Here we can see all the students who have submitted their requests with their answers to the name, email, grad year, minor, prerequisite fields, etc. As well as the extra questions that we put in ourselves, like why are you interested and which interests. So here we can sort based on any of the responses, including the time that they submitted the request in case the professor wants to do first come, first serve. Additionally, we can filter people by adding something. So for example, here, now it only shows all the freshmen that have applied to this course. So furthermore, let's see that there's an additional feature of hiding the columns. So we can press this I button and hide columns that we don't want to see while making our decision, and then we can bring them back. Other than that, we can select multiple things and do multiple actions. So for example, I can email everyone here, and once I submit the email, it will send all of them an email through this, and as well as the faculty. Now let's see who we want to accept or deny. We can accept Elizabeth Zhang, and it shows which course that she has been accepted for, as well as shows her permission number and when it expires. Similarly, we can deny someone. This page shows the requests for all the course, as well as the cross-listed courses for that course if they're the same section. So for example, if I accept Vaishri, it will show that she applied for ECE, whereas for Elizabeth, she applied for ComSci 250. So now once I'm done I have my decisions, I can go back and I will show you some more pages. One is being the all requests page, where it shows requests from all the courses, so including the second sections that we made. This helps admins, DUSs who just look at all courses equally. Additionally, we have the option to upload view and upload permission numbers. I can also assign permission numbers from this place. So for example, if we grant Sunny a permission number, it will give it to her and show her who it's been assigned to. We can upload more permission numbers here. And if you go back, we can add a course manager. So example, a TA or someone who can manage the course too. So this will email them and let them know that they have been added as a course manager.
Finally, over on the student side, Elizabeth will show you the effects of Miriam's actions.
After Miriam accepts my request, I'll get an email saying that my status has changed. Once I go back to this page, I can see that this button is green and my status is now accepted. I can take this permission number and go directly to DukeHub to register for my course now.
In addition, we have two auxiliary pages. The first is the account page, which holds some basic user information. The second is the FAQ page, which contains some questions that will help guide our user through the navigation of our web application.
Hey, what's up?
Finally, we have a dark mode, which changes the GUI of our application. And then just to end our presentation, we're going to log out and talk about some features that we're hoping to add next.
Now our application is fully functional and could be deployed now. However, there are lots of improvements we'd love to make to create an even better product. First, we would like to implement a waitlist functionality which some professor would like that offers the professor a third option other than accepting or rejecting. What's more, we would like to implement smart links that set state parameters in our OAuth to allow professors to link students directly to course applications. What's more, we would like to get integrated into DukeHub, which would provide lots of conveniences, such as directly importing the permission numbers and courses into our application, instead of requiring the faculties to commute between the DukeHub and our application, and manually upload a great number of Excel files, which is lots of work for them. After all this, we would be able to obtain an even better application and ready for full deployment.
At the end, I would like to thank Jen and Isabel for coordinating this amazing program, our project leads Danai and Michael and Zhao for guiding us throughout, and our stakeholders for giving us this opportunity. Thank you everyone for your attention, and if you have any questions, we'll take them now. Additionally, I'll put our site link in the chat so you can explore that on your own.
So if you have any questions, you can chat them or raise your hand. We'd love to hear from you or speak up.
So we do have a question in chat. What database is used in the back end?
We used a MariaDB database.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, Miriam.
We used a MariaDB database.
Did that answer your question? That was from Joshua.
So I know we have a couple of faculty members and in here. John, I don't know how you would.
Yes, well, I raised my hand.
Oh, did you?
So
I didn't see that.
I was trying to behave.
Oh, thank you.
Which is rare. I wanted to ask, what are the immediate plans for this? I mean, there are courses that could probably use this right away. What's the medium-term future for this project?
That is an excellent question, John. We are planning to present this at ITAC and get a little bit more feedback from a broader faculty group. I think maybe the next one in a week or two. It's in a state where, and students correct me if I'm wrong, it's in a state where I think we could do a small beta test pilot period with it right now. I think beyond the scope of Code Plus is an open question for us of how we wanted to continue to manage it and, you know, care and feeding for something like this. And that's on our agenda to start figuring out now that we're sort of at the end of this process.
And Michael, some of your key stakeholders was Chris Derrickson with DukeHub or the SIS office, as well as I know you've had discussions with Frank, the registrar's office. Did you want to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, they've all seen it in various iterations. I think Chris actually saw this presentation at least 2 or 3 times. They are all excited about it. We actually had some emails with Chris, Danai, and I today talking about what next steps might be, how we might continue to integrate some of this stuff into DukeHub, or at least draw some connection lines there so that some of these things that are a little bit more manual can be streamlined a little bit. So there's a lot of potential here. I think in its state right now, it's perfectly usable by faculty who have to handle this course permission number dance. But I think there's obviously plenty of room for improvements and new connections into DukeHub as well.
I'm certainly one of the ones with the Post-it note and the numbers scribbled on my desk. So this could be an improvement. I want to ask the students, kind of collectively, what was the most challenging technological piece of this for you to wrap your heads around?
For me personally, I never worked with Ruby on Rails or like any of the languages that were used in this web application. So I guess the most difficult thing for me was getting over the learning curve, especially like building the database. I don't know if my other teammates can echo that.
I agree. That was one of the most challenging parts. At the very beginning of this process, I had no experience besides like the introductory course into computer science, and I had no experience with Ruby on Rails or Ruby or the Ruby language or HTML, JavaScript, any of that. But after I started learning, it made it a whole lot easier. So after the beginning.
Thank you.
Another question is, what was used for the front end? For the front end, we use CSS, HTML, and JavaScript mostly.
Any other questions?